For this video, we are going to break down number 44, running back and safety Mason Kelly, class of 2025 for Somers High School in New York, highlighted on the screen. Now, before we dive into the video, I do want to say if you could please give a thumbs up and subscribe if you like this content, and to consider donating to our group using the donation links in the description of the video. And now, back to the breakdown. Speaking about Mason, this young man listed at 5'11", 170 pounds, and this young man really stood out on a team that had a lot of senior talent. It was a loaded football team, and he became an impactful two-way player last season. Now, as a runner, what really stood out to me was his ability to make defenders miss both in the box and out in space. He's got very good lateral quickness that puts defenders in a bind, and I do think he's at his best running counters and zone run plays. He also showed he could be a very dangerous weapon as a receiver out of the backfield and was a consistent mismatch for linebackers. Now, things he can work on, and I see this a lot with young running backs, better pad level. I think he runs a bit too high at times, and when he continues to get stronger, can he consistently run in between the tackles without bouncing it towards the outside? But let's go over a couple plays I liked. I mentioned he was at his best when I watched him on tape. Zone plays and counters, right? And this is just a straight-up zone play with a tight end. Now, I can't tell if it's a mid-zone or maybe an outside zone, but he's going to attack behind that guard tackle area. And when he gets this ball, the defender does a really good job of busting this play up. He gets to the inside of the tight end. Everybody else does a pretty solid job of getting a body on a body. But now, Mason, he's going to make a choice. He's try to cut back inside here, or he's going to bounce to the outside, right? He decides to bounce to the outside, and you can see the quick feet on that juke right there. Now he gets out on the edge, and this is where he was at his best. When he's out in space, making defenders miss. Right, he made one guy miss there, he makes another one, shows the strength to run through that arm tackle, and that's what you could see Mason, right? A play that should have been a 2-yard loss, 3-yard loss maybe, ends up being a nice chunk play. Right, makes guys miss, he can really put that foot in the dirt and make defenders look a little foolish. Let's go to another play. Again, zone runs and counter runs really was his bread and butter, and they had a very strong offensive line. You're going to see the counterplay. But what I like from Mason focusing on him, emphasize the fake, right? He takes hard shuffle step right there, and the purpose of that is to try to get these linebackers stepping in the wrong direction. That happens on this play, right? So he helps set up his offense a little bit, but again, another defender getting inside penetration here. He's got to make a defender miss in the box, and that's what he does. Shows that speed right there, runs through the arm tackle, and you can see when he gets out in space, he's slippery. He is tough to tackle. Makes another guy miss. Big chunk play. One more time. And again, nice counter step. Gets the linebacker stepping the wrong way. Has to make a defender miss in the backfield. Runs through that arm tackle. And you can see the speed. I mean, he is slippery at that second level. Here's another play. Again, similar counter play. This is out of the gun this time. And you can see he opens up his hip to emphasize the counter, get those linemen moving, give him a chance. But the linebackers read this well, right? Including the safety helps get over the top. And you can see they have a full flow this way. Safety's actually going to over-pursue a little bit. And with a good block at this second level on that linebacker, really strong block right there, you can see 2 lanes opening up. Now the safety is over the top here, right? So he can make this play probably be about 4 or 5 yards. But again, watch the awareness. He makes this cut, backside, boom. And he's gone. And here comes the speed for that big chunk play. Cuts across the field. You can see the smoothness in how he runs the ball. Start it up again. Counter step. Helps up his block. Really strong blocking up front, but there's those 2 lanes. Safety coming up into the box. He cuts across, sets up that block right there, and he's off to the races. Another aspect of his game that I talked about at the beginning of the video is his ability to be a receiver out of the backfield. He's highlighted right there. You can see the route combination, and we're going to focus in on this side. Now you have the safety in the middle of the field, and this could kind of result in man coverage right here. You're just going to see some confusion by the defense, but when he was matched up against a linebacker, it's a tough cover for these linebackers. He's very smooth. He can catch the ball with his hands, and you're going to see it right here. Just a quick flare out. There's a confusion right here. I like this. Look at him catching with his hands, not catching with his body. And when he gets that in space, right, you've seen it plenty of times. Make that one guy miss, and here's the closing speed. Right? He adds another dynamic to an offense with his ability to be a receiver out of the backfield. I would imagine they're going to utilize this even more going forward. He catches it with his hands, makes that juice, nice block at the second level. There's that speed. Again, he's going in, just finished his sophomore campaign, going into his junior year. A lot of growth could be there. And this is a guy who can be pretty darn dynamic. Obviously things he can improve on, but I like what I've seen, and I'm excited to see his growth.